Here's another way in which the corporate Democrats agree with Republicans on screwing you. 9 Democrats sign up to help Wall Street steal cars. They're backing a bill to undermine the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now, admittedly, that's a little bit of a sensationalist headline, but when they trace the lines here, you'll see it's kind of true. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's description of Wells Fargo's behavior is breathtaking. The company, quote, forcibly placed duplicative or unnecessary insurance on hundreds of thousands of vehicles owned by customers who had taken out a car loan with the bank. This not only resulted in a typical charge of over $1,000 to which these customers had never agreed, but for at least 27,000 customers, the Bureau wrote, the additional costs of the force-placed insurance could have contributed to a default that resulted in the repossession of their vehicle. Wow, okay, so that's what they mean when they say the Democrats are helping Wall Street steal cars. They do these unnecessary charges on you that are just bullshit ways of price gouging and robbing you. Sometimes $1,000 it would cost, over $1,000. Typical charge of over $1,000. And then for insurance that wasn't insurance. And then a lot of people couldn't pay it, and then they repossessed the cars. So that's Wall Street stealing your car for a bullshit charge. Unbelievable. These guys are so egregious in what they try to get away with. They continue. In a better world, the Federal Reserve would prevent serial offender banks like Wells Fargo from existing, and the Department of Justice would prosecute mass car theft as a crime. But it is at least good that a federal regulator exists to levy fines against these outrages and give restitution to wronged families. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has been around a few years, but prior to the Wells Fargo settlement, it had returned about $12 billion in ill-gotten gains to American consumers, a figure that is considerably higher after its biggest ever settlement. So, you're probably thinking, well, how did the Democrats factor into this? Well, Gwen Moore, who's a Democrat of Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin, another Democrat of Wisconsin, and 7 more conservative House Democrats, along with Senator Joe Manchin, the worst of the worst of corporate Democrats, they proposed a bill that would ban the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau from regulating in states that already have some form of state regulation. Now, here's the problem with that. And actually, I just noticed now I have Nancy Pelosi over my shoulder. This isn't fair to Nancy Pelosi, because Nancy Pelosi she's not for this, okay? She's bad. She's a corporate Democrat. She's not for this. This is a bridge too far for her. Here's the trick. The trick is, at the state level, they don't have the authority or the ability, and they haven't in the past. They don't have a track record of redressing grievances of this level. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau can and has addressed issues like this. You know, I've told the story about how a credit card company was charging me a bullshit identity theft protection fee, and then come to find out there was no system in place. So you're paying for this identity theft protection. They're just taking your money. There's not an actual system that tracks identity theft. It's just a way of price gouging you, stealing from you. And so I got a check in the mail one day from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Great. That's what the government's supposed to do. It's supposed to regulate the financial industry, make sure they're not scamming people. Well, they have the ability and the reach and the scope in order to deal with somebody like Wells Fargo basically effectively robbing people's cars from them. The state regulators don't have that ability. Joe Manchin doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. He wants to look at me. I'm like the Republicans. Please vote for me in the next election. So I am going to screw you like the Republicans would. Aren't I great? No, you're not. Paula Jean Swearengin is great. And by the way, keep your eye on that election because it's coming up very soon. So I'm not sure exactly when it is, but it's coming up very soon. So if you're in West Virginia and you're a Democrat, go vote for Paula Jean Swearengin so we can get rid of the horribly corrupt and corporate Joe Manchin.